Hi, my name is Mike Latter. I'm a State Member of Parliament, Member for Waterford in Queensland, Australia. I've been asked today to say a few short words, and it's my pleasure to do so. Today is a wonderful day, and I'm sure you've got a fair bit of footage of that. It is lovely. It's lovely to see our people coming together for whatever the festival may be, but always a pleasure to see them coming together and celebrating, being a community together in church, and for those who aren't from the church, just coming together to respect one another. For me, I find it always very, very special. Family values to me are absolutely everything, and the good, solid family bonds that we see here today are a pleasure to witness.
Where's your whānau from? Where's your family background?
Yeah, sure. Well, I was born and raised Australian, but my mother is Māori, so that's where my Māori heritage kicks in. I am Ngāti Hoa, Tainui, but of course my family lines run back through the King family, through my mum, my grandmother, Ina, and her husband, Te Konia King, and back through to the Tamihanas, Wiremu Tamihana, and also I probably should acknowledge my granduncle, Anaru, as well. But my lines are from that part of New Zealand. I was inspired to politics through school, through high school. I became a school captain at my local high school, and in that role I was able to meet and engage with the politicians of the time, and I was inspired by them. I was inspired to be that sort of person, be someone who was engaged in their community, and look out for the community. And there's a lot that I want to do, there's a lot that I want to offer and put back into my community. Up to that point, I worked and I worked hard until such time as I felt it was right for me to run in politics. I did that, I won the seat, and I'm here now, and I love the opportunity. And I mentioned earlier on stage why that's important to me, and particularly why youth should be pursuing it with vigour. It's our youth that we need involved in politics. It's our youth that we need getting engaged in community again. And I think there's a real need for that. We've just got to inspire our young to be able to stand up, take on that role, and really get out there and make a change, do something different. And that's what I try to inspire in youth as well.
Good. And so with all our Māori, Kiwis that are moving from Aotearoa to live here in Brisbane, what would your advice be? Like, do they have to register, or how do they go about?
It's very easy for people to come here from New Zealand, work here, and have a life here. There are some inherent difficulties, relatively recent changes since the early 2000s. There were changes in immigration laws that are making it difficult at this point in time, particularly with regard to New Zealanders becoming Australian citizens. That has an impact, let me tell you. The safety nets, the welfare nets aren't there for New Zealanders, and that's an issue that the Australian government has to work through with the New Zealand government. But in terms of coming here, living here and working here, that can be done. And for anyone who has an opportunity to do that, who has an opportunity to work here, certainly I'd encourage it. In saying that, it is important that if you are looking to move here, live here, and spend your life here, look very carefully at immigration and what that means for you. Look at becoming an Australian citizen, and subsequently the benefits that may have, and the difficulties that are involved in that process as well. But be aware of it. As for moving here, it is a beautiful part of the world. I'm very attached to this part of the world. Certainly, I'd encourage you to come here if that suits you. Look, as I said to you, I was born and raised Australian. There are certain parts of myself, my fierce loyalty to my family, and now that I have children of my own, my fierce loyalty for them. That comes from a very, very strong and proud bloodline. sure, other parts of the world have that, but I've seen no one that has that with the sort of strength that our culture has. And I may be born here and I may be an Australian citizen, and I consider myself Australian. But in saying that, there's a very big part of me that is Māori, and I'm very, very proud of that. I'm very proud of my history. And just because you may become an Australian on a piece of paper doesn't mean you have to let go of who you are.